G'day, Graham Ross from the Garden Clinic TV. Welcome and thanks for joining us. It is just a little bit late for planting garlic. They say plant it on the shortest day and harvest on the longest day, or vice versa. Honestly, there are so many of those little stories in gardening, I forget which one's which. But I do know that you've got to get them in during autumn, early autumn if possible. But when it comes to garlic, we tend to think, oh, well, I'll just go down and get some from the local greengrocer and split those into little corms and plant those out. But in fact, that may not work for you, because if they're imported from China or Chile, in fact from anywhere overseas, they'll have this little root section here scalloped out. No roots, no soil. Then the corm is actually treated with methyl bromide. Yeah, it's a nasty gas that really kills off any bugs and things, and it does harm the little flesh of the bulbs, but more importantly, you don't want to be eating something that's been treated with methyl bromide. Some of the countries actually bleach them. They bleach them to make look even whiter than they are normally, and you don't want to be eating a vegetable that's been bleached before you've actually purchased it and planted it in the garden, let alone purchased it and put it into a dish. Garlic has come into the Australian I guess, culinary expertise because we've had so many imports of people coming in with different stories and different ideas. Not only from Asia, but Europe, of course, has been using garlic for hundreds of years. It's one of the most nutritional vegetables you can get hold of, and I'm going to call it a vegetable to keep it simple. So when you're looking for garlic, I suggest don't go down to your local greengrocer. Buy them where you know they've been grown in Australia and they're a crop that's suited to your climate. Now look at this collection here. There's an amazing array. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, there's a dozen of them, and these are all from Druid bulbs. Now Druid bulbs have I think, very likely the biggest collection of garlic that you can get hold of. If you're really quick, they'll still be available on mail order, okay? Now, Druids do appear at garden shows around the country at this time of the year, but you need to be quick because they don't have huge stocks, but they do have stocks of all the different varieties. The other thing to watch out for, and this is a bit of a trick with them, some of them are suited for Queensland, some are suited for cool climates, and others will take Tasmania and the really high altitude, snowy, frosty parts of the country. So when you buy your garlic, have a look at the back of the pack because the information is quite specific. So don't just be attracted and think, oh, that looks great, I'll try that one, because it may not suit your particular climate. Yes, you can grow them in Queensland, and yes, you can grow them in warm temperate areas or cool temperate areas, but as well as the colder climates, which they're more entrusted to. But just be wary when you go to buy. Okay, so what are we going to do? I'm going to select this one here, which is called Glen Large. It's a hybrid garlic that's been developed to produce even bigger corms, and it has a really great mild but strong garlic flavour. So open your packet, get out the bulb. In this case there's 2 in the packet. Now these are really nice. Now what you need to do, don't plant it like so. By the way you can tell if it's Australian, it'll have roots on the bottom, okay? These haven't been cut out because they don't need to be. We're in Australia and they can move around the country quite safely from one state to another. So when you get your corm, you then split it up, give it a bit of a twist, and then you'll find that the sections fall apart. There we go. There's one there. I'll put it down on the table. And they all split, they all split off into sections. Okay, take off some of the skin because that'll only cause a drama later on. Now from one corm, you're going to get at least a dozen, maybe 10 beautiful little plants ready to plant out. Okay, now there's even a small one there, that's okay. Prepare your soil. Now, don't make it too heavy on fertiliser. If anything, the onion family don't like to be overfed. So I've just added a bit of compost and cow manure into this garden bed. I've turned it over and it's ready now to plant. So there we are. From that one garlic, I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I've got 11 new garlic plants. But remember how big the garlic was, so that's at least the space that you've got to put them into the garden. Now when you plant them out, make sure that the tip is just sticking above the soil. So space them out around about a hand span apart, and then just have the little tip sticking out of the garden. Plant them out in a little row so you can keep an eye on them. Remember again, just repeating, they don't like a lot of fertiliser, so just use the organics like compost, a bit of blood and bone, maybe a little bit of cow manure and dig that through, but don't overfeed your garlic. Once they're sitting up in a nice little row, give them a drink of water. Watch out that they don't get rot from rain. That's very likely the biggest danger you've got to watch out for is rain on top of your watering when it's a nice sunny day. Then it gets cloudy like this and rain is possibly predicted. Well, there you go, garlic. Great flavours, really, it improves your immune system no end, and all those winter dishes and the stews and the soups, you can throw in that garlic, crush it and put it in. Even if you've got a warm day, you can have a bit of a salad and use the garlic that way. It's one of those really important vegetables to grow in the garden. And by the way, most of these you can grow quite happily in a trough or a large pot. So they're a very versatile vegetable, and I'm really pleased I've got some more in. I'll plant another few of these different varieties to see how they go. Well, the sun's coming out. It means it's going to be a great day for gardening. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget, you need to do something to it, and I've forgotten again. Subscribe.
Hope you like the video. Subscribe to
Yeah. So, sun's coming out, so it's going to be a great day for gardening. I hope you like our little videos. It's a bit of a prompt and a bit of a, I guess, a promise of the future for a great harvest. If you liked our videos, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Good gardening.